Hey crew, it's Ben, and I'm back on another reaction video. Today we're going to be checking out another Richmond remix, and this is Black Pegasus. I'm going to keep doing these as long as y'all keep wanting to see them, but I will not do the ones that are just a direct replaying of the song. We don't do covers on this channel, almost ever. Like, it has to be a really exceptional circumstance, and the song's too new for that, so unless there is some changing of the verses, we're not really going to do it. And if you don't like people stopping the video, you are definitely on the wrong channel. And with that being said, let's dig into Black Pegasus Richmond, North Richmond remix. Let's go.
Living in the new
World,
world.
where it now
So, Richmond, North.
I love the new trend, right? Everybody's doing the cover of this song, showing their pets. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the fur babies. So, I love it.
Richmond, Lord knows it all. Just wanna have
Total
total
control.
control.
Wanna know what you think, they wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do when I read a good book, and it's all coming true.
There's an awful lot that is coming true. There's an awful lot coming true. There is an awful lot coming true.
When I look to the sky, what the world coming to, y'all. Demoralization up in the nation.
Yeah.
Book of Revelation, what we facing. Taxation, no representation.
We talking on this channel an awful lot about some personal responsibility and how we are responsible for the choices in our life. And the representation is there. Everybody gets mad about taxes, and it's not about the taxes, y'all. Y'all aren't mad because you're getting taxed. You think you are because everybody keeps telling you that you should be, that taxation is theft, but it is not. Taxation is a privilege. The fact that you can pay somebody to do the shit you don't want to do is a privilege. What you're mad about is that you haven't been holding responsible the people who have been misusing your materials. That's the problem. It's not that you pay the taxes. If they were being spent well, people would not have this problem. The problem is that we don't want to hold responsible the people who are using it. We talk about the president like he gets to set economics, right? He does get a very large say in the budget, right? But most of the bills, like all the bills, come from Congress and the Senate. That is who we are supposed to hold responsible. That is our representation. Every 2 years you get to vote on a congressman. Every 2 years you get to hold them responsible. Every 2 years, are you being diligent? Are you being responsible? Are you holding your elected representatives to account? Because that is what everybody's problem with taxation is. I live in a very small town, right? We just became a town. Like, we were a city when we moved here. We became a town. But we pay a higher tax rate than our neighbors right up the street, the next town over on any side of us. We pay more. But we have better schools. We have a great park system that is free. Like, you pay to be part of the football program or the baseball program, but we have football, baseball, soccer. We have track and field. Like, there's all kinds of public teams here. And, like, we're setting national trends in education. We are doing things differently here in my small city. We pay more taxes for that. It is a privilege to live here and pay that extra tax. I make sure I shop in this city and pay that extra tax because they're being used well. Our resources are being invested in our community. Our roads are better. Our schools are better than everybody else in the state. We consistently are in the top 3 in the state every year, and I get it. That's Louisiana. Louisiana's in the bottom 2. Yeah, we got New Orleans. We've got Baton Rouge. We've got Lafayette. We've got Monroe. All shitholes. All democratically run and all failing in education. But here in my city, where we pay the extra taxes, we have better education. Most of our kids graduate from high school. Most of our kids, when you go into high school here, this is a pilot program, right? Here, you can choose. Hey, yeah, I think I might want to go to college. Okay, here's the career path. Like, here's the requisites to get you there. They have AP courses available where you get college credits. They have all this stuff for these kids going to college. But then there's kids who were like me, who wasn't going to college. And they're like, you don't want to go to college? You want to be able to work with your hands? We got you. And you can graduate from this school, this high school right here, certified in body repair for automotives. And you can be certified in drone flight. They have a program for video game development. They have a program for television and entertainment. They have a music mixing program. They have an engine repair. They're doing air conditioning this year, I believe. And you graduate with the certificate to go to work from school. And you don't go to work for minimum wage with these certificates. That's from our high school here in Walker, Louisiana. You can look it up. It's on record. We're doing that here. We hold our representatives responsible. We got an election coming up, and somebody who thought he was quite secure is not. He's about to lose out. Buddy Mincy, I'm talking to you. And so he's going to lose his race, and we're holding him responsible for the choices he made over these last couple of years. And again, Buddy Mincy, I'm talking to you. We have to be responsible for that. We have to be the ones who are holding our elected representatives responsible. And if it's not you, then it will be nobody. If you don't do it, if you don't take charge of it, and this goes for anything in your life, it doesn't just go for politics. If you are not taking responsibility for your part, at least your part in whatever, then it's going to continue being that way. And I'm going to let that rant in right there. But like taxes is one of those things that sets me off, just like all the rest of it, right? I guess I got too many soapboxes, but that's one we really got to get in our head, man. Like, we do have taxation with representation. This is not what they fought about. Now, what is happening in Washington currently with this intentional drain of resources, and it is intentional, there was a plan in place with numbers assigned to it that it had to reach those numbers by those dates, right? And there was a 4-year gap, 3.5-year gap, where that progress was halted. So now, on the backside of that halt of progress for 3.5 years, they have to double down. They have to really throw everything out the window, because they have a number coming up, a date coming up, where they have to have reached their agenda. And if they haven't, then it's bad for them. But if they have, it's bad for us, right? There are concentration areas in these cities where they want you. All right.
Slow the spread, increased inflation.
See, this is what I'm talking about with that was an intentional strike.
Taxation, no representation. Slow the spread, increased inflation. Slow the spread, wrecked education.
That right there is a price we will pay for a generation.
We can't even question misinformation.
This is going to be a long video, y'all, because that is the God's honest truth right there. If you can't say, I don't agree with that, there's a major, major problem. Probably the biggest problem that we have in this country right now. And that's saying a lot. Have you seen the president? The fact that you can't say, I disagree with that, it is a major one. You should be able to say whatever comes into your foolish ass mind. For real. Like whatever. Whether somebody finds it offensive, as long as you are not directly inciting violence or harm against another person, you should be able to say almost anything, including those words that nobody wants to hear. You need to know who not to associate with just as much as you need to know who to associate with. And the people who voluntarily use words of degradation against themselves or others has some serious issues with themselves, and nothing positive is going to come out of a relationship with somebody who degrades themselves or others. That is an axiom. That is a fact of the universe. Nothing productive will come from those people. Now, they may get temporary benefits on this plane, but they will fall apart. Ask Bill Gates how his wife is doing. Right? These things are important, right? These are things that you need to know. Know who not to associate with. And the only way you can know who not to associate with is if they're saying the dumb things that they would keep down, right? If somebody is using a word that you don't like, then you know not to associate with them. But if they can't use that word, they still think it. I would prefer that they were able to say it, and then I know not to deal with them. That's how I have cut off a lot of people in my life, right? There were people that I did not know were certain ways, that assumed because of who I am, and I have a rather intimidating persona, right? In real life, I can be a little intimidating. I don't know why, but it's true. And so they thought that it would be okay to recruit me into terrible clubs. And I don't associate with those clubs, but I didn't know that about those people. They hid that about themselves. Now, some of them were leadership in the union, so you can go ahead and assume political affiliation from that, and you would be correct. So, the point being, if we cannot dissent, there is a major problem. If you cannot ask for redress of grievances, that is a major problem. And the public forum today is not going down to town hall. It is social media. And so if you were censored on social media, even if it's through a back door, that absolutely did not just happen, right? We did not just find out that that was absolutely true for the last few years, that there was a back door to these social media platforms that they would direct line censor people on request of the government. That is direct violation of the First Amendment by the use of corporations, which some of these corporations seem to have been subsumed by the need to quiet dissent. Because if you quiet dissent, then nobody knows that there is dissent.
Propaganda wars, globalization, it's matrix, communication. The flag indivisible for every individual. Your freedom is pivotal to stay strong is critical. They want total control. You can see it's habitual. Elites on an island doing all type of rituals. Release the
That is another thing that people take way too lightly, right? Those rituals are real, people. I know that I sound like a lunatic when I say things like this, but I am okay with sounding crazy. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to tell you. Energetic manipulation is a real thing. Blood sacrifice is a real thing. The things that these people do, even if you don't believe in them, they do. And it invests the correct things to get things to happen. That is why we see the effects that we do. Now, these effects are destructive, right? We're not seeing positive effects by the things that these people do. When they took out Kobe, did they bring about something great from that? Did something nice happen from Kobe? But that was absolutely one of these sacrificial acts. And they got something from it.
flight logs, but they won't cause they cynical. A thief in the night, and you know cause it's biblical.
They won't give you the flight logs because they know who is on them.
Damn, they lying to me. I'm just trying to be the best man that I can for my child, for my fam. See, united we stand all together on this land. See, there's black and there's white and there's yellow and there's tan and there's red, and we band all together on this sand. Politics.
That. And there are many, many uses of division that the government has at their disposal. And one of the most effective ones is the arbitrary designation of melanin levels in your skin. Somehow, some way, we have decided that that's okay. Now, I grew up in hate. I told y'all about that. Like, I've never been shy about telling y'all about things, right? And I did. I grew up in hate. My kids did. The house I grew up in, there was racism. In the house my kids grew up in, there was not. And so that's because God stepped in and pulled it from me and let me know. But I really did think that people were less than me because of the color of their skin, until I realized that we are all made by God. Every single one of us, no matter what level of melanin that you have in your skin or the level that I don't in mine, God made us. He made us exactly like he wanted us to be, down to the amount of melanin in our skin. And I refuse to judge somebody based upon that arbitrary fact. I refuse to judge you based on whether or not you have genitals of a certain type. I refuse to judge you by what you, as a grown adult, do with your genitals. I don't care. It has nothing to do with me. As long as you're not touching me with them or kids with them, I don't care what you do with them. They're yours. Have fun. We talk about personal responsibility and how sexual degradation leads to bad things farther down the road. So you should be able to do what you want to do. That's all.
Politics is a sham. They use tragedy to scam.
It's like the dew gathered on the ground. All these tragedies to scam.
Barcodes when they scan. It's all a part of the plan. Take guns out your hand.
Bruh, like, this is going to be a long video. That didn't just happen, right? We did not just have, in a United States state, a governor, through executive order, suspend constitutional rights. That didn't just happen. You can't see that on my TikTok page.
Free speech gets you banned. Locked down to their orders. That's the chain of command. Damn.
And no, I'm not putting it over here on YouTube. I don't know if this video will be able to make it.
We the people, not the government. There's a difference between the...
We the people are the government. That's the other thing, right? Government jobs were not meant to be jobs, right? They were a duty that you performed and then went back to work. We have turned that into a profession. That's a significant problem.
The lobbies that's running it. This
Like, if it costs more to get an office than you will make in that office legally, then there's a significant problem. And yeah.
to be a constitutional republic. I hope you open your eyes before they smother it. They put the all-seeing eye up on the mothership to distract you from seeing all the other
The all-seeing eye up on the mothership. He talking about that paper, y'all.
I'm here to speak the truth. They broke the covenant. I ain't eating insects. My phone, they bugging it.
Bet. And I'm going to let you in on a secret, people. They do not need to get any documentation to listen to anything you say. Any microphone you have in your house, including televisions or washing machines and refrigerators, they're listening to you. Be aware of that. Like, I don't care. If they show up here, I say shit all the time they could arrest me for. If they show up here, they can do what they got to do. It's whatever. Like, I'm non-violent. I'm not fighting people. I just disagree with them vehemently.
And I believe in freedom.
Bad.
The government be scheming. Censorship for no reason. And I just don't believe them. And I believe in freedom. Corporations, they be scheming. Censorship for no reason.
Well, there's a reason.
Don't believe them.
There's definitely a reason. Because if we could talk, then we would talk. And if we could talk and we would talk, then people would listen. And if people will listen, they've got a problem. Because there is a trend. And you can get mad about this one if you want to. The more you research, the more right-leaning you turn. That is another axiom, right? There are exceptions to every rule. Some people research things and they don't look at all the information, or they judge the information incorrectly. But if you look at all the information and you look at it objectively, you tend to choose the right side of the argument. That's all.
And I believe in freedom. Government, they be scheming. Censorship for no reason. And I just don't believe them. And I believe in freedom. There's never believing. And I just don't believe them.
Richmond holds so. Richmond holds the Richmond. Lord knows
They
it
all
all. Just
wanna have total control.
Know what you think. Know what you do. And they don't think you know. But I know that you do.
No, ain't shit.
And it's taxing on
Like Pegasus. Oh, wrong button. I wanted to read that. I hit the wrong button. Black Pegasus Shout featuring Andrew Yu. And Andaru coming soon.
ain't shit. And it's taxing on
So y'all make sure y'all get back over to Black Pegasus page, give him a like, share, and sub, throw him a comment, let him know you appreciate what he's doing. We need as many people out here talking about this as possible. One of the things that this song has enabled is people to be able to speak. It triggers responses when you listen to things. That's why I do reaction videos, right? Like, I started doing reaction videos to pull myself out of a hole. I was in a pretty dark place when I started this. Like, not like a kill yourself dark place, but a pretty doom and gloom type place. And now I'm in a much happier place because I talk to y'all about solutions. I talk to y'all about responsibility. I talk to y'all about the things that we need to do. These artists are seeing this song and it's striking these same kinds of conversations with them. They're just able to put it to a tune. They're able to put it on a beat and give it to us in a beautiful way that helps us to assimilate the ideas. I love, like, as long as it's not just a cover, I love seeing these. So I'm going to keep doing them as long as y'all keep sending them to me. I love all of Oliver Anthony music. I love all of his stuff. Like, I haven't heard anything yet that he has done that I don't like. I may not agree with everybody that's doing these on every issue. That is something that's going to be a fact. You don't agree with people on all things, but we have 10 things that we should be able to agree on as United States citizens, as Americans. We should be able to agree on freedom of speech and expression of religion. Right? We should be able to agree on the freedom to bear arms and all the rest. Like, we should be able to agree on at least those 10 things. We have another 10 that we as believers in God should be able to agree on. And somehow we cannot agree on any of these 20 items. And it's absolutely astounding to me. Your rights are what you can do if there was nobody else around. You have no right to health care. That is someone else's services. But you do have a right to freedom of expression, to being able to say whatever comes into your damn fool mind, whether it offends somebody or not, whether it is correct or not. The consumer should be able to intelligently be able to say, no, that doesn't sound right. Let me check that out. And that brings about more education. And the more education you have, the better everybody is. I don't want to hold back education from anybody. But I'm okay with most of these books they're banning. Have you seen them? And people will be like, that's a free speech argument, but it's not, right? Anything regarding children gets extra scrutiny, anything. And we give them extra scrutiny when we give them medicine. We give them extra scrutiny when we send them to childcare, hopefully. And one of the things that we need to protect them from is some of the things that are in those books. Now, I don't think we should be banning Huck Finn. I think that is stupid. That is a First Amendment violation. But these ones where they're showing explicitly detailed things to minors, that is not a free speech issue. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I am very long-winded. But like I told you, if you're here just to listen to the song, you're in the wrong spot. That link is down below. Y'all make sure y'all get back over there and show some love. Give Black Pegasus all the love we can. We need to support these people. All of these people who are shouting from the rooftops, hey, listen to me. Something's not right. We need to give them some love. So y'all get down there, give them a like, share, and a sub, throw them a comment. Pegasus, thank you for this. I appreciate it greatly. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me. I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. You're perfect, whole, and complete just the way that you are. And this has been Pittstake. Peace.